The price of the spotlight. Privacy, Saesian culture, and TAEHYUNG's stand in Brussels. Behind the blinding lights of global stadiums and the flawless allure of high-fashion campaigns lies an exhausting, hidden reality. When a single screenshot of a sleep tracker exposes the physical toll of stardom, the boundary between public adoration and toxic intrusion is shattered. In Brussels, the golden boy of pop culture drew a definitive line in the sand, the post that exposed the night. In the digital age, a celebrity's connection with their audience is often measured in real-time updates and intimate glimpses behind the curtain. However, on a quiet night during the European leg of BTS's massive world tour, a single update from Kim Taehyung on the fan community platform Wever shifted the global conversation from artistic celebration to deep concern. Taehyung shocked media networks and fans alike by uploading a simple, unedited screenshot taken directly from his personal sleep tracker. The digital interface revealed a staggering reality. Amidst the grueling demands of an international stadium tour, he had managed to secure a mere 2 hours and 27 minutes of sleep while staying in Brussels, Belgium. The post was not a casual share. It served as the stark prelude to an unprecedented, direct appeal. Breaking away from the traditionally guarded stance often maintained by industry idols, Taehyung openly addressed a persistent and growing threat to his well-being: the presence of Saesian, obsessive, intrusive individuals operating outside his hotel. He explicitly requested that these Oknum individuals cease gathering outside his private accommodations, emphasizing that their constant presence was severely compromising his privacy and preventing the physical recovery essential to sustaining his performance capabilities. This chapter dissects the layers of this viral incident, examining the mechanics of invasive fan culture, the physical demands of global touring, and the profound impact of Taehyung using his massive platform to reclaim his personal boundaries. Anatomy of the incident: 2 hours and 27 minutes. To fully grasp the gravity of Taehyung's Weverse post, one must look at the intense physical reality of a modern global tour. Performing 3-hour sets in packed stadiums requires the conditioning of an elite athlete, combined with immense vocal control and emotional expenditure. Sleep is not a luxury in these conditions. It is a critical physiological necessity required to prevent vocal strain, immune suppression, and physical exhaustion. When Taehyung shared that he had slept for less than 2.5 hours, it exposed the direct consequence of external disturbances on an artist's health. According to local reports and fan accounts, groups of obsessive individuals had gathered around the perimeter of his hotel in Brussels, compromised private entry points, and created an environment of constant surveillance. The psychological stress of knowing that one's immediate perimeter is insecure is a primary disruptor of circadian rhythms. By publishing his exact sleep data, Taehyung provided undeniable, empirical proof of the physical toll caused by this intrusion, grounding an abstract conversation about privacy into hard, undeniable numbers. The architecture of intrusions, the Saesian phenomenon. The term Saesian has long been a dark stain on the global expansion of the Korean entertainment industry. Unlike regular fans who celebrate an artist's public work, these individuals operate on an obsessive desire for proximity, often utilizing illicit means to track flight schedules, compromise hotel floor plans, and invade private spaces. In the context of a European tour, the borderless nature of travel and localized security variances frequently present new vulnerabilities that these networks exploit. The gathering of crowds outside an artist's hotel in Brussels highlights a critical misunderstanding of boundaries. What some individuals rationalize as a display of dedication is, in reality, a severe breach of labor safety and basic human rights. The behavior creates a state of perpetual hypervigilance for the artist. Taehyung's decision to name this behavior directly on Weverse marks a significant shift in how artists interact with toxic fandom elements, moving away from passive corporate endurance toward active, public boundary enforcement. This incident has forced a wider structural reassessment within international tour management. Security teams are migrating away from standard public hotel bookings toward highly secured, undisclosed residential compounds, ensuring that artists can recuperate in environments free from external surveillance. Taehyung's vulnerability did not weaken his standing. Instead, it empowered his global audience to act. The logistical fallout from the Brussels incident extended far beyond the immediate digital sphere, forcing an urgent and comprehensive overhaul of how high-profile South Korean artists are protected during European transits. Historically, international tour security relied heavily on traditional physical perimeters, such as barricades and standard hotel security guards. However, the coordinated tactics deployed by modern intrusive networks, which often use real-time digital tracking and localized tip-offs, have rendered these conventional methods increasingly obsolete. Following Taehyung's public disclosure of his sleep deprivation, management teams began collaborating with specialized European tactical security firms to implement advanced counter-surveillance measures. This includes the deployment of dummy convoys to misdirect crowds, the utilization of private, non-commercial entry terminals at international transit hubs, and the enforcement of strict non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, with hospitality staff long before the artist's arrival. The goal is to transition from a reactive security posture to a predictive one, ensuring that an artist's private space remains completely invisible to the public eye. Psychological sustainability in the streaming era. Beyond the logistical adjustments, Taehyung's statement brought a critical, long-overdue conversation regarding the psychological sustainability of global pop stardom to the forefront of the music industry. For decades, the commercial framework of the entertainment industry implicitly demanded that idols maintain a facade of perpetual availability and unshakable perfection, often at the expense of their fundamental human needs. By exposing his raw sleep data, Taehyung dismantled this unrealistic expectation, signaling to the corporate landscape that physical and mental boundaries are non-negotiable assets that must be protected to ensure career longevity. Mental health professionals and industry analysts widely praised the move as a healthy, assertive exercise of agency. When an artist of Taehyung's stature openly prioritizes his physical recovery over the demands of toxic fan proximity, it sets a powerful precedent for younger artists within the ecosystem. It redefines the relationship between global stars and their audience, shifting the paradigm from one of ownership to one of mutual respect. The message is clear. The art can be shared globally, but the individual's basic right to rest and security remains absolute. The long-term cultural shift within international fandoms. The cultural impact of the Brussels stand is expected to leave a permanent mark on how international fan communities police themselves. In the weeks following the incident, major global fan bases launched structural educational initiatives aimed at redefining the concept of supporting an artist. Digital guidelines titled "Respecting the Horizon" and "Privacy is Protection" were translated into dozens of languages, urging fans to actively boycott media outlets, blogs, and social media accounts that profit from paparazzi-style photos or leaked hotel itineraries. This self-policing mechanism represents the most effective shield against intrusive behaviors. By completely cutting off the social validation and digital engagement that sightseeing individuals seek, the community is systematically devaluing the currency of stolen privacy. Taehyung's vulnerability did not just protect his own immediate peace during the European leg of the tour, it ignited a global behavioral evolution, proving that the ultimate expression of devotion is the active defense of an artist's humanity.